I feel like for me, Africa is conducive environment to do farming.
Yes.
Like more than any other continent out there.
Yes.
We have everything.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's said that we don't know much about value addition.
Yes.
We are farming, but not enough for export market. What should we do to reach a level where we can say that Africa is feeding the whole world, and if people want food, they're coming to Africa?
I think on that aspect is our mindset. We have a mindset whereby we feel like farming is now more of working and digging. Yet now we're trying to mechanize it. You can be in the UK, for example, but with iPhones or smartphones, you can literally look what the worker is doing in the farm. We need to embrace technology. I think that's the first and far most important thing. We should embrace technology, and after we embrace technology, we should just make sure that we are moving on with the times and implementing everything we're learning into farming.
You guys, your first attempt doing fish farming, you failed, but you went an extra mile of creating other two. Probably this is three. You guys, you don't give up.
Never. I think that's the nice thing about farmers. We like failure, and we like learning from failure.
Is it important for someone who is starting farming to rent or to buy land?
I think I can give you a question.
Yeah.
Is it important to start? Because whatever the situation you're in, the most important thing in farming is to start. And if you start, you then learn from there.
Yeah.
But if you are learning, it's better to rent because most of the liability is not yours.
Yeah.
Right? And it pushes you. Because, for example, if you're renting an area and the area costs $100 per month, for example.
Yes.
And you are doing produce that gives you $300 a month. On business terms, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Right? You're doing your produce for 3 months, getting $300, and yet you're renting $100. So it pushes you to have a good product. It pushes you to actually invest more on that, because at the end of the day, when someone puts money into something, he wants a return. So I think the best is to start, and if it's starting suits you with renting, then it's fine. If you want land, it's also an advantage, but just start.
Of all the types of farming that you came across with, which one would you encourage people to venture into?
For me, so far, we've done horticulture, we've done piggery. I think that's where our 2 years of farming really is, and most projects like cattle and goats just started this year. But I feel like livestock gives you time to breathe.
Yeah.
It gives you time to breathe, and it gives you time to sell. You know the dates. It's for piggery, for example, you know it's 5 months to 6 months. Then you have 6 months to look for market. Horticulture, on the other hand, it's pretty hard because it's a fast business.
Yeah.
It needs you hands-on. It needs you to look for market every single day until the crop finishes. So for me, and because I'm not hands down at the moment,
yes,
I would rather choose piggery. Because I know as long my records are okay, my systems are fine,
yes,
I have a lot of time to do my marketing. And so livestock, in terms of that, is perfect.
So it seems like you are not happy because of the project that was happening here.
Yes, as you can see, this is the first fish pond that we had. It's wet. We harvested last week, and we got about 151 fish out of 1,500 fish that are the size of this my palm hand. And I am really disappointed because of the investment that we had put and what we're expecting from this project. But we got people that came and told us the mistakes that we had, that we're making. We were not changing the water. It was green and we didn't have a fish net. So the the birds probably were eating the fish. Yeah.
So you were asking where did the rest of the fish went?
Yes. And how do we end up with 151 fish out of 1,500 were not on the ground? How do we know our workers are not taking anything if we're also not there?
Yeah.
So it's a great disappointment. So when you do decide to have a fish project, you need security. You need lights. You need the fish nets. Probably will need a cage and, cameras all over that are working 24/7. These are things that we have not done yet, but they're in, they're in the line. We're working towards it.
So are you continuing with the project? You're learning from your mistake?
We're learning from our mistakes. We're learning, and we hope that this time we'll produce more. And we'll definitely tell people what we'll obtain from the projects that we have. The reason why we then decided to start this fish project is because we also have pigs. So if you have pigs, it's because the waste that comes from pigs, we have pigs.
Yes.
We can keep it, and then maggots come out from it after a certain period of time.
Yes.
So you can feed your fish that.
That's good.
That's the secret behind fish.
Okay.
For them to grow and for you to have that Kariba dam taste.
So what exactly are you guys doing here at this farm?
So we're integrated farm. So basically we are doing multiple projects.
Yes.
So we have our horticulture section, we have our fishery section, we also have our livestock section. And on our livestock, we have cattle, goats, and also have two piggery.
Of all the types of farming that you're doing here at this farm, which one is more difficult?
For me personally, I find that livestock it's quite difficult.
Yeah.
Mainly because there are many little gritties that are in it.
Okay.
But in terms of being there on the ground, horticulture is the hardest, but it's the fastest cash you can always get.
So when it comes to cabbages, you can actually make good money.
Yes, because we're looking at 33 level right now. It takes about 90 days to harvest. So that's 3 months. But if we compare, for example, goats, for example, 5 months gestation, then we're looking at about 6 months if the bull goats for meat, even for breeding. So already that's a year. So your money is coming back faster with horticulture.
When did you start farming?
It started in 2021.
2021?
Yes.
Wow.
That's when it started. And we've just been trying to do it the right way. And I think that's how we've got such numbers.
What makes one a great farmer from your own perspective?
I think it's basically trying whatever you can do with whatever you have. I think if you have the passion for it, trying will be the easiest part. But also accepting to learn. I think that's what makes a great farmer. Because we're ever learning and the season is ever changing when it comes to farming. So as long you're willing to learn, you're passionate about what you're doing, and you have a vision, learning for you comes like clockwork.
You're doing cabbages right now.
Yes.
What are the challenges that you're facing when you're doing cabbages, to be specific?
For us right now, it's the water source. We're on one piece of land, and there's no dam close by. So we have to inject for bores. And with the drought, the water table has gone low. So our biggest challenge right now is the water source. But other than that, it's the usual challenges, the pests, but it's something that you can plan for. But without water, you can do a lot.
Let's talk about the market. Other people would say that, here in Mashonaland West, you're far from Harare. Yeah, not that much, but you're not close to Harare.
Yes.
Do you face a challenge, in the market?
For us, yes, we might be in Mashonaland West, and we might be far from Harare, but there's Chinoi.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Karoi. There's Kariba. Right. So we're diversifying the market, and we just don't supply this crop, we have a calendar for it. We know the peak seasons. We plan for it, and we farm it the right way and make sure that. But the market is there. I believe the market is there in farming as long your produce is quality. The market is there.
The variety that you're focusing on in cabbage, what is the name?
The one that you see right now is 3311. Then you also have Kilimo. Those are the two varieties that we have on the ground right now. But because we're going to be focusing on other variations like Kilimo as well, because of the fast return about 75 days.
Yes.
So those are like our cheat codes to fill up the gaps. Because when you're managing multiple projects, there are some projects that lag behind, but you have our cheat codes like Kilimo that comes in very fast, and it targets those months where this cabbage might take time.
From your own perspective, do I need big land to make good money from cabbages? Because from how I see it, it's about quantity, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. For us, because we are wholesalers, quantity does matter. And you might need a certain piece of land, but let's look at the numbers. If you have 1 hectare, you're putting about 35,000 heads. Selling 35,000 heads at $3 at the current price right now, you still make
good money.
Good money.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, let's say you're a small rural farmer. Who has, for example, a quarter hectare. Right. You can put in your 8,000, 6,000 plants. But if your market is good, if you're selling straight to the consumer, you can get this head at $1. Right.
That would be good also.
You see, because they're selling straight to what? Consumer. They're selling straight to the restaurants. As long as your cabbage has quality, and you're good to go.
Well, to be honest, pig farming, we started at 2021, 2020, And at first it was great. It was working out well, but also it was because my husband, as you heard, he's a student. He was on the ground.
Okay.
So he would make sure that things are running out smoothly and all that. So here we have one male. And the male that we have is called a Jurok. That's the brown one. It does not have so much fat. The meat tastes nice. It's just a very good breed. So at first it was working out nicely. But now my husband is on attachment. So he's mostly in Harare. So the problem that we have is birds. Yes. They are not giving birth. We don't know what really is the problem, but a pig goes on heat after every 21 days. So if you are not able to spot the time that it's on heat, then it will not get pregnant. That's the problem that we have. So when we tell them, okay, now it's supposed to be on heat, you don't know if the worker is there, if he's not there, and if, but now it's been a whole year. We're in August and only one has given birth. So it's a great loss because we're feeding them, we're paying the workers, and we're not getting anything in return. It's a very lucrative business if you're there. That's the problem. With pigs, you have to be on the ground. And the other problem that we had was growth. You do not know if your workers are feeding the pigs or not.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's why I was talking about the need for cameras everywhere on the farm. You really need cameras. With technology, now you can even see it on your desk at work. This is the time they're supposed to feed. Are they really feeding it? So that we get the type of meat that we're expecting. But market-wise, it's there. Market-wise, it's there, yes.
We noticed what we did wrong the first pond. And already, I think you can tell, she talked about a fish net. We already put the fish net there before the water is actually put in place. Then the chemicals, we bought them before the fish even comes into place. So now we're just fixing the areas that we did before and we're not doing it now. But now we're like, hey, we already failed before. Why not just go big?
Yeah.
So now that's when we put 2 more fish ponds.
Does it look creative from your own perspective?
From the numbers? Yeah. Very lucrative. Fish farming from the numbers is very lucrative. And it actually makes sense because the government has been pushing fish farming so as of late. So we didn't realize it, but when we put the numbers down, we realized that there's almost a 200 to 300% profit margin. For example, the fish ponds we have here, there's one pond dedicated for value addition. So there's this fish called catfish or Muramba in Shona. Yeah. So we're reserving one pond for feed, right? And not feeding humans or anything. We want to feed chickens and pigs, because Muramba, if dried and crushed, makes fish meal, which is one of the most expensive meals you can buy on the market at the moment.
People don't know that.
Yeah, I was actually quite shocked when I was hearing a lady in Shawasha who literally survives and feeds her family and takes them to private schools with fish meal.
Really?
Yes.
It is happening?
It is happening in Zimbabwe.
Were you ever scammed before?
In terms of scamming, I think there are so many WhatsApp groups and there are so many runners in Zimbabwe whereby they just want to make a quick buck and they don't do follow-up and they give you a substandard produce. It's hard to say on camera, but yeah, it's part of farming because we have that excitement.
Exactly.
Yeah, to do something.
So the excitement actually leads you to something that is not proper.
Yes, it leads you to get scammed. But now, with the reputation and how Zimbabwe is such a social hub, you tend to find recommendations on people.
Proper recommendations.
Yes, and I think that's why people are afraid to invest in people in the diaspora, for example. They're afraid to invest in Zimbabwe, but there are people who have built a reputation on doing the right thing. And I think we should look for those people. And anyone can farm wherever you are. By having people like that. I think you have built a good reputation whereby you are going to the farms, you're dealing with the people at hand.
That's what we want to fix. I feel like with the connection that I've managed to gather, I can then connect people with the right farmers.
Yes.
Where they can actually pinpoint, period, the person that you recommended is doing this and that.
Yes.
So if we do it the way we are doing it right now, we're heading the right direction.
Definitely we are.
I've just created a course exposing everything I learned from all the farmers I've interviewed and met. Behind the scenes, a lot is said and a lot is explained, and in the course I'll be telling you what it takes to be a great farmer. I've covered a lot of diaspora projects. It could be building a house back home, and surely there's a lot to learn. Farming is not kids' game, and you have to be clever when investing in it. I've seen people lose a lot of money being scammed, and to avoid all of that, it takes someone who have met those who have made it and those who have failed also. Just for $20 you can have access to my course.
You're still at school.
Yes.
Of all the things that you have noticed are happening at your farm, when you come here full time, what are things that you're going to fix?
I think time management is key. Priorities is key. Yes, we do have normal farming schedules, the cleaning and so on, but we can never anticipate sickness. We can never anticipate stunt growth. So if you're on the ground, you're always the first person to see those problems. So I think when I come back, those are the situations we'll be seeing. And when I come back, I need to create systems whereby I can have 6-7 months off from the farm, but everything is functional. So I think that's my main plan.
How do you see the business of pig farming?
It's not get rich quick plan, but it's a get rich plan.
Oh, okay.
I think most of the things that you're seeing, piggery has actually has played a big role. There are actually times when we would go and be like, okay, someone tells me a price of a stand, and we'll be like, okay, that's how many pigs? That's 20 pigs. Bow. Right. So it's something that we should also embrace. I won't lie, piggery is capital intensive. These guys can eat, but if you can survive the first 8 months of the project, you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
What's your last words of encouragement to everyone who is watching this video?
I feel like let's change our mindset. Let's start having an entrepreneurial mindset, right? Let's stop being afraid. Let's just start.
Yeah.
As long as we start, and as long as we do it the right way,
Yes.
the first time,
Yes.
you never regret doing farming.